Hello everyone. In this video, I will discuss about research-based argumentative essay. We have here a table which shows some information about explanation essay, blog, and the research-based argumentative essay. As discussed in the previous lessons, explanation essay is an essay that answers the question, why? The purpose is to inform readers about why something happens. Does it require research? So research may be used but is not required. On the other hand, a blog is a personal journal or diary entry that is posted online. The purpose is any of the following: to entertain, to instruct, to inform, or to persuade. Research may be used but it is not required. Then we have the research-based argumentative essay. So this is an essay that presents a writer's position with support from research studies. The purpose is to persuade readers to accept the writer's position. Research must be used to support the writer's claim or position. So as we have seen from the table, research is one element that distinguishes the argumentative essay from the explanation essay and the blog. The research-based argumentative essay is the end product of a research process that you must undertake. So this process includes the following pre-writing tasks: formulating the research question, finding the answers to the research question, doing research, and lastly, preparing to write the paper. First, let us talk about formulating the research question. The essay you are writing is argumentative. This means that you are expected to present a clear stand on an issue that has at least two different or opposing sides. Some examples of contentious issues include legalizing divorce and legalizing same-sex marriage in the Philippines. For these issues, one position favors the passing of a law allowing divorce or same-sex marriage. Another position rejects the passing of such law. Many good examples of contentious issues for your paper include those that do not deal with legalizing practices. So you may choose topics that concern your school, province, city, town, barangay, or even those that relate to the environment in general and other nations and regions such as Southeast Asia. For instance, you may want to take a position concerning waste segregation in your barangay, or you may opt to look into the benefits of ecotourism in your town. So we have here some examples of research question. Why should divorce be legalized in the Philippines? Why should same-sex marriage be legalized in the Philippines? Why should the practice of proper waste segregation be instituted in my barangay? Why should ecotourism be promoted in my province? So that is formulating the research question. Next is finding the answers to the research question. After formulating the research question, plan the next steps for finding the answers to your question. This requires the preparation of an annotated research bibliography. So this is a list of sources with a brief description of the content of each source. Your sources must be acceptable. Is the source relevant? Does it provide the latest facts and figures? Is it reliable? Given these criteria for deciding on the acceptability of sources, the following are usually not considered. Any holy book or inspirational writing, such as the Bible or self-help books. Any works of literature, such as novels, short stories, plays, poems, etc. Dictionary is not considered. Another is personal blogs or journals or diary entries. And lastly, Wikipedia is not considered. Next is doing the research. So it is now time to do the research. This means that you will read each of the sources you identified in step 2 and take research notes. If you do not find the answers you need for the sources you identified, you may have to look for other sources. There are three types of notes. We have the paraphrase, summaries, and direct quotation. So paraphrasing is done when you use your own words in taking down notes. If the information provided in the source is long, it is best to summarize. You may also copy the note verbatim or exactly as it is presented in the source if you wish to preserve the source, which is the direct quotation. For whatever type of note you make, it is expected that you cite the source. This means that you must jot down the complete bibliographical information of your source. And lastly is preparing to write the paper. So we have the thesis statement. At this point in the pre-writing stage, you should be ready to formulate a thesis statement for your essay. The thesis statement is the main point or central argument of your paper. So it expresses your stand on the issue you choose to do research on. In order to formulate a good thesis statement, make sure that it does the following. So present a strong position that is supported by convincing evidence. And suggest a framework for organizing the essay. So let us consider this following thesis statement. First, despite the growing number of broken families in the country, divorce should not be legalized in the Philippines. So as we can see from this thesis statement, it clearly argues that a divorce law in the Philippines is not desirable. As we can see, with the use of the word despite, it can be predicted that the writer of the essay will present contrasting scenarios for a country with a divorce law and a country without a divorce law on the other hand. Another example, because of the economic and environmental benefits it brings, ecotourism should be promoted in my community. So from this thesis statement, it clearly argues that ecotourism is more desirable than traditional tourism because of the benefits that the former brings. As we can see, with the use of the word because, it can be predicted that the writer will introduce a cause and effect dimension of the essay. So that is the thesis statement. Next is the outline. After having done research about your topic, choose one side that you agree with. This side is your argument or your position. Then, list all the factual support for your argument. Then, do the same for the other side, which is the opposing position. So you also need to list all the factual support you have gathered for that position. When all these are complete, you are ready to write an outline of your essay. So this outline gives you or gives your paper a general shape. It is some sort of a written plan for your essay. So if the outline is well done, then half the work of the writing or half the work of writing the paper is also done. So your outline must be complete. It must contain all the main points of your research-based argumentative paper. This means that the outline should have the following parts. We have the thesis statement, your argument and specific support for the argument, the opposing argument and the specific support for this argument, and a list of sources for all the support that will be used in the paper. And lastly, we have the essay. So after you have completed all the pre-writing tasks, you are ready to write the essay. In writing the paper, observe the citation conventions. So make sure that you practice intellectual honesty by acknowledging all your sources. Any fact, a figure, idea, or concept that is not yours must be acknowledged in the paper. Otherwise, you will be accused plagiarism. So that is about the research-based argumentative essay. Thank you for watching and I hope you have learned something.